Well, hi parents. Welcome to 2010, and this is the Kids Town video for November. And the character trait that you're going to be working through with your children this month is the character trait of honor. You know, there's so many things that we do in our culture that try to communicate honor with trophies and ribbons and plaques and diplomas, those kinds of things that show that we really do want to kind of portray honor, but it's in a culture that really doesn't understand or do honor very well. I mean, in my own mind, I think of this picture here that I've got that's of my brother and I in college at a parent game, walking my mother off of the field in an effort to honor her. And I know you can't really see it very well, but I'm actually that number 3 there with some hair, or some red hair actually, in the whole deal, which is kind of funny. What hasn't turned loose has certainly turned gray for me. But just I remember this picture just always reminds me of just our effort when we were in college to just try to bring honor to the parents that had raised us and had brought us along. And this month you're going to be working with the definitions that says for honor is letting someone know you see just how valuable they are. The idea that every person is a child of God. Every person is created as an image bearer of God, and that there is an innate worth in that person because of the fact that they are created by God. And that we want to somehow this month instill into our children the kind of idea that children would be quick to recognize every person they meet as someone who's created by God and deserves honor because of that and should be treated respectfully. As you work your way through this, and there's going to be different stories in the life of David this month that kind of serve you to see a lot of different cool stories about how honor shows up, or the lack of honor in David's life, and you'll be able to take that and then communicate that to your children as you work your way through the month. You're going to spend some time with David in the story of Goliath and how really no one gave David the honor due, that he was a young teen and was prepared to try to do this battle and willing to do it, and no one really saw the potential of what could be inside of David. And then we see David and Jonathan, the second story, and now it's a different story. Jonathan is the rightful heir to the throne, and yet he becomes a friend of David and actually bestows honor on him and tells him before he is tragically killed in a battle, he tells him, you know, David, you're going to be king, and I'm going to follow you, and I give you that honor, and I'll follow you that way. The next story that you see with David is going to be the lack of honor shown to David by his son Absalom, and the rebellion that Absalom instigates and leads, and the tragic death that it leads to because of his unwillingness to honor his father and to show the respect that was really due him. Finally, you'll look at David as he brings the Ark of the Covenant into Jerusalem, or back into Jerusalem, and as he does that, he dances before the covenant in a way that one particular person doesn't like, but everyone else is just thrilled with David's uninhibited worship and the honor that he shows to the Lord, and that being the kind of thing that we want to see in each and every child that's a part of what we're doing here, that they would so recognize God in their life and honor him that would in fact change how they view people and the relationships they have here on earth, and that they would bestow honor on those folks. Letting someone know that you see just how valuable they are. You'll have an opportunity to work with the memory verse this week with your children, this month with your kids, and it comes out of Romans 12, where it says, love one another deeply, or as the version that I like is love must be sincere, without a mask. Honor one another above yourselves. And so the challenge is to kind of, how do we create in a society where the whole culture says, bring all the attention to you and make sure you get what's due you, and we raise children that are outward focused and they're bestowing the kinds of honor that people long to have. If you can imagine, even in our own lives as parents, how much of the time we long to be assured that we're valuable to someone and that we have honor and worth. It is my prayer that in the month of February, you will have great and rich conversations with your children around the whole concept of honor as you look at David's life, and that it will radically change how you treat one another in your homes and how your children view those around you. God bless. Have fun with it.